Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to continue our remaining lesson and astrologers day. So dear students, please open your textbooks and see on page number 4 and line number 3. I am going to continue the remaining chapter. When he told the person before him, gazing at his palm, in many ways you are not getting the fullest results for your efforts. 9 out of 10 were disposed to agree with him. The astrologer would tell the future of his customers, and he would look at the palm of his customer and he would tell that you are working very hard in your life. You are doing hard work, but you are not getting the fullest reward. You are working very hard, but you are getting very less salary, or you are getting very less reward. And when astrologer would say these things, at that time 9 customers out of 10 would be agree with the astrologer. They would say that astrologer, you are right. We are doing very hard work in our life. We are working day and night, but we are not getting the proper reward for our work. Or he questioned, is there any woman in your family, maybe even a distant relative, who is not well disposed towards you? Or he would say that your family is having problems. Your family is facing problems because in your family there is a woman, and that woman is not listening to you. That woman is creating problems in your family, and that is the main reason that your family is facing many problems. And 9 people would say, yes, astrologer, you are right. In our family there is a woman, and that woman does not cooperate with the family. That woman is creating many problems in our family. Or he gave an analysis of character, or that astrologer would tell his customer how is the nature of that customer, what good things he has and what bad things he has. Most of your troubles are due to your nature. And astrologer would say to his customer that most of the problems in your family, or most of the problems which are taking place in your life, they are because of your nature. Your nature, you are open-minded, and that's why you don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to give trouble to others. You trouble yourself, but you don't trouble to others, and that's why there are problems in your family. How can you be otherwise with Saturn where he is? And the astrologer would tell them that now Saturn has entered in the life of the customer, and that's why the customer is having problems in life. Now his life has become hard, and all these things have happened only because of the nature of his customer. How can you be otherwise with Saturn where he is? You have an impetuous nature and a rough exterior. And he used to say to his all customers that your nature is impetuous. Impetuous means impatient. You are impatient. You don't have patience in your life. And rough exterior means your language is not soft. You use very hard language, and because of your language you are having problems in your life. This endeared him to their hearts immediately, for even the mildest of us loves to think that he has a forbidding exterior. This endeared him to their hearts immediately, and because of such things, because of telling such things, all the people loved him, all the people liked him, Means he was very expert in convincing his customers, and customers would think that this astrologer is telling us proper future, and this astrologer can help us to solve the problems of our lives. The nuts vendor blew out his flare and rose to go home. And beside the shop of that astrologer, there was the shop of nuts vendor. Vendor means seller. There was groundnut sellers, and that groundnut seller would roast the groundnuts by making fire there, and he would sell those groundnuts to customers. And when he would roast by making fire, at that time that fire would give light to the astrologer, because astrologer had no his own light for his shop. This was a signal for the astrologer to bundle up too, since it left him in darkness except for a little shaft of green light which strayed in from somewhere and touched the ground before him. This was a signal for the astrologer, and when groundnut seller would close his shop, it was a sign for astrologer also that astrologer should close his shop. He should pack up his luggage and he should go home. And there was darkness now, but some green colored light was falling in front of astrologer from somewhere. He picked up his cowrie shells and paraphernalia and was putting them back into his bag when the green shaft of light was blotted out. He picked up his cowrie shells, and now astrologer was packing his luggage. What was his luggage? There were some cowrie shells. Paraphernalia means many small things. Other small things which he used for knowing the future of people. He was packing all those things. He was putting all the things into his bag. But meanwhile, the green shaft of light was blotted out. In front of his shop, he saw a light, and that light was green colored. He looked up and saw a man standing before him. He looked up. Astrologer looked up, and he saw there was one man. That man was standing in front of astrologer. He looked up and saw a man standing before him. He sensed a possible client and said, "You look so careworn." He looked at the man, and astrologer thought that now one more client has come to him. He looked at that man and he said to man, "You look so careworn." You look so careworn means careful. You are looking in tension. You are looking stressed. I think you have some problems. Astrologer was talking to that man. It will do you good to sit down for a while and chat with me. And he said, the astrologer said to that man, "You are looking very careful. You are looking in tension. I think you are having some problems. So if you will sit with me and if you will tell me about your problem, I will be able to solve your problems, or I will be able to help you to bring solution to your problems. You look so careworn, it will do you good to sit down for a while and chat with me." The other grumbled some reply vaguely. When astrologer told these things to that person said something. That person replied something, but he replied vaguely. He replied vaguely means Astrologer was not able to listen what that person said to astrologer. The astrologer pressed his invitation, whereupon the other thrust his palm under his nose, saying, "You call yourself an astrologer." Astrologer invited him, that I will tell you your future. But the man did not reply to astrologer, and he said to astrologer, "You are an astrologer and you will tell my future." And he wanted to mock astrologer. By listening this, astrologer was shocked. "You call yourself an astrologer?" The astrologer felt challenged and said, tilting the other's palm towards the green shaft of light, "Yours is a nature." Instantly, astrologer held the hand of that person. He took it below the light and he said, "Yours is a nature." "Oh, stop that," the other said. "Tell me something worthwhile." And astrologer was telling that man about his nature. How is his nature? But that fellow said, "Astrologer, stop it. If you want to tell me my future, then tell me something worthwhile." Worthwhile means important. Tell me something important. Our friend felt piqued. Piqued means irritated. And that person looked irritated. That person looked angry. "I charge only 3 pies per question, and what you get ought to be good enough for your money." Then astrologer said, "Yes, I will tell you your future. I will tell you important things about you and about your life, but I charge 3 pies per question. If you are ready to pay me 3 pies per question, I will tell you your future." At this, the other withdrew his arm. When he said this, at that time, the other person take back his hand from astrologer, took out an anna and flung it out to him. He took out anna from his pocket and he gave it to astrologer, saying, "I have some questions to ask. If I prove you are bluffing, you must return that anna to me with interest." And then that person, that customer, said to astrologer, "If I proved you are telling me wrong things, then you have to pay me back my anna, and you have to pay me the interest of that anna. You have to pay me more money back. If I proved you are telling me wrong things. If you find my answer satisfactory, will you give me 5 rupees? Then astrologer said to that person, "If I will give you correct answers, if I will give you right answer, then will you pay me 5 rupees for telling you your future? No. Or will you give me 8 annas?" Then that person said, "No, I will not give you 5 rupees. Then astrologer said, "Will you give me 8 annas? Are you ready to give me 8 annas? All right, provided you give me twice as much. If you are wrong," said the stranger. That unknown person said, "Yes, I will give you an anna, but if you give me wrong answers, then you will have to pay me double." This fact was accepted after a little further argument. Then they argued for some time, and after quarreling for some time, after exchanging their thoughts, their opinions for some time, then both of them were agreed. The astrologer sent up a prayer to heaven as the other lit a cheroot. Now astrologer requested to God, "God, please help me to tell the future of this person." And the other person The other lit a cheroot. Cheroot means cigarette. The other person lighted cigarette and he started smoking cigarette. The astrologer caught a glimpse of his face by the match light, and when he lighted the cigarette, at that time there was light, and light fall on the face of that stranger, and astrologer saw the face of that stranger clearly. There was a pause as cars hooted on the road, and some cars were making, hooted means noise, some cars were making noise on the road. So astrologer stopped for some time. Jutka drivers sore at their horses, and there were jutka drivers, means there were some horse or horse cabbages, and the drivers of those tangas were abusing the horses, and the babble of the crowd agitated the semi-darkness of the park. And in that park there was semi-darkness, means there was some light and there was some darkness, and there was a crowd. That's why there was a lot of noise. People were shouting, people were making noise, and so some people were looking agitated, some people were looking angry. The other sat down sucking his cheroot. Sucking means smoking the cheroot. Cheroot means cigarette. The other person sat there, he was smoking his cigarette, puffing out, and he was throwing out smoke, sat there ruthlessly, and he sat there. The astrologer felt very uncomfortable, but now astrologer was looking uncomfortable. Astrologer was looking unhappy. Some sudden change had come into astrologer. He had changed his mind. Now he was not ready to tell the future of that person. Here, take your Anna back. I am not used to such challenges. And now astrologer said to that person, I am giving you back your money. I don't want to tell you your future. I don't have the habit of such type of challenges. It is late for me today. He made preparations to bundle up, and astrologer said to that person, today I am getting late to go back my home. I am packing my luggage. The other held his wrist and said, but the other person held his wrist and said, you can't get out of it now. The other person said, no, I will not allow you to go. Now you have to tell my future. You dragged me in while I was passing. I was going, and you dragged me. You pulled me, and you told me that you will tell my future, and now you are saying that you will not tell me my future, but I will not allow you to go. First of all, you will have to tell my future, and then I will allow you to go. The astrologer shivered in his grip, and his voice shook and became faint. Leave me today, I will speak to you tomorrow. Now the astrologer was shivering because of fear. There was some fear into his mind. He was afraid of something. He was shivering, and he told that person, please let me go today. I will tell you, I will speak to you tomorrow. I will tell you your future tomorrow. The other thrust his palm in his face and said, challenge is challenge, go on. But the stranger said, take my hand, look at my palm and tell me my future. Challenge is challenge. Now you can't take back your challenge. The astrologer proceeded with his throat drying up. There is a woman. Now his throat was drying up. Means the words were not coming out of his throat. The words were not coming out of his mouth. Stop, and said the other. I don't want all that. Shall I succeed in my present search or not? And now astrologer started to tell that person his future, and he said there is a woman as usual, but that person said, don't tell me that type of things. Please answer my question. I am searching somebody. I am searching for some person, and tell me whether I will succeed to search that person or not. Answer this and go. Otherwise, I will not let you go till you disgorge all your coins. And he said, answer my this question and then you can go. If you will not answer my question, then I will take all your money. And before that, I will not allow you to go. The astrologer muttered a few incantations and replied, all right, I will speak, but will you give me a rupee if what I say is convincing? And astrologer said, okay, I will tell you your future. I will tell you answer of your question, but if I will give you correct answer, or if I will give you convincing answer, then you will have to pay me 1 rupee. Otherwise, I will not open my mouth and you may do what you like. If you will not give me 1 rupee for the answer of that question, I will not open my mouth. I will keep my mouth shut. I will not answer your question, and you can do what you have to do. After a good deal of haggling means bargaining, they bargained for this for some time. The other agreed. The astrologer said, you are left for dead, am I right? And astrologer said to him, you are left for dead. Somebody attacked you and left you thinking that you are dead. Am I right or am I wrong? And tell me more. A knife has passed through you once, said the astrologer. And astrologer said, somebody had pushed a knife into your stomach. Somebody had stabbed you. Good fellow. He bared his chest to show the scar. What else? And that person said to astrologer, yes, you are right. He unbuttoned his shirt and he showed a scar, a mark of wound on his chest. He said, yes, that person had stabbed a knife here. That person had nabbed a knife into my chest. He showed him the scar or the mark of wound. Thank you, students. We will continue the remaining chapter tomorrow. Thank you very much, and I request you, if you like this video, please like it, share it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.